Well, it's Saturday 7th of October and here we are, we're back at the spring at Shide in Newport, the Sacred Spring, which is in the previous video. I was here yesterday with Jan and we were doing the smudging ceremony and preparing, but due to a technical hiccup we never did the pipe ceremony, so we're back here again today. Mitch is with us as well and we're going to do it again. I'll be filming, Jan's going to be talking about the pipe ceremony and various other things. We've actually got a bit of the red stone, what the pipe bowl is made from, which I'm going to be bringing up to Kirby Misperton with me, but she'll be talking about that. But yes, so it's all looking good. I'm going to have to be smudged when I get in there to make sure my aura's clean, etc. And that's with the old sage, which is a lovely smell. I love sage. And here we are at the mouth of the spring. And I'll let Jan take over from here. Hello, Jan.
Hello.
Right, I'm going to be smudged. I'll have to sort of do it if I can get this in here, don't I? It's a bit awkward with this camera. I'll turn around. This is an eagle's wing then, is it? What?
This is a heron's wing.
Heron's wing.
There is a wonderful story with heron, which I can share at some point.
Yeah. I know there's lots of interesting stories you can share.
She's the guardian of the oak, and she's guardian of the waters, and she's guardian of the Ogham. And she came to me in a very, very sacred way.
Right.
And she's honoured every time I bring pipe,
Yes.
and that I smudge. And we always smudge the pipe and clean the energies before pipe ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I shall do now. And then we bring the pipe together.
And that's the special bloodstone thing, isn't it?
This is the Catlinite. This is the Pipestone.
Yeah.
And it comes from only one place in the world, in Pipestone, and guarded and taken care of by the Sisseton Dakota Sioux, of Chuck Derby, who is the guardian.
Yeah.
And he made this pipe bowl for me. It's a woman's pipe bowl.
Right.
And it represents the blood of the Mother Earth. That is what the Native Americans see this pipe bowl as, blood of the Mother Earth.
Right.
And it is most sacred.
Yeah. We have a Morris side on the island here called Bloodstone Border Morris. I don't know if you've seen
That's
them.
right.
I don't know if they've got anything to do with this, because obviously it's ancient English culture, isn't it? The Morris dance, pagan, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. We do have an earth crystal bloodstone here in this part of the world.
Yeah.
But there is only one place that the Pipestone.
I guess Firestone Copse has got something to do with it, has it?
Yeah. And this is the stem and this is regarded as Father Sky. This is the male half of the pipe.
Yeah.
So when we as humans join the pipe bowl and the pipe stem together, that is when we become the bridge between heaven and earth, and we become united with Creator Tunkashla. At that point where the pipe and the bowl is met with the stem, that becomes sacred, and that's why it's never allowed to be filmed, because then we are connected to Tunkashla.
And the pipe has become a sentient being.
Yes.
And that makes me think, when you mention that bridge, it makes me think of the Rainbow Bridge, which is the Atacama, isn't it? Is it the Atacama in occultism?
Black Elk, the Rainbow Bridge. There are several stories, legends regarding the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah.
But the one that the native Americans live with by is from Black Elk, and he saw a vision of the rainbow tree. And that's when all of the colours and all of the races and all of the people will gather under the rainbow tree, and that's when the spirituality of the Native American will rise up and heal the world.
Yeah, this is like this is where Greenpeace came in with the Rainbow Warrior
That's right.
logo, isn't it? When
Yes. Yes. Ed McGar, Eagleman, he came over to this country many occasions. An Eagleman is part Scottish, and I got to know him really well, and we did workshop together, and he was a huge sponsor of people in this side of the world to become students of the Native American ways, and they are known as the Rainbow Warriors because he believed completely in Black Elk's vision.
Yes, and it's an ancient Indian philosophy, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the time when the animals on the earth were dying, there'll be a race of people who come together to save the animals.
That's
and they'll be called the Rainbow Warriors.
The Rainbow Warriors. We are the Rainbow Warriors.
It's funny, I've got another little story. I won't go into detail now, but it's like, I don't know if you've heard of a lady, she died back in the late 80s, I think, but she used to live at Binstead Hall in a place called Cataplana, the annex flat. They called her Molly Johnson. I don't know if you've heard of Molly Johnson.
I used to live there.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh, well, when I moved down to the island, my friend JC...
I know JC.
Yeah, well, his wife, it wasn't his wife then, Kathy Flux then, she was staying at Cataplana. And I used to go there, and this was about 75 to see Molly Johnson. And she told me a tale of when she was over in Southsea somewhere, she saw a Rainbow Bridge go from her place to Binstead, where she was then living in this flat, this annex flat. And the next day she got a letter from the United Nations World Goodwill that they wanted her to move to this place in Binstead on the island to set up their triangles thing, and I remember going there on a Sunday night to meditate with them and that, But that's another story.
Can I tell you before we move on that Chuck Derby Running Out came over to Binstead Hall?
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a small world, isn't it?
So much learning at that place in the 8 years that I lived at Binstead Hall.
Well, I tell you what, something that really blowed my mind. I used to go around to Molly's quite a lot, I was a bit sort of, I call it my gap years then, and I put my hand out to ring her doorbell, and a little bird, I can't remember what kind of bird it was, a little wren or something, landed on my finger.
Yes.
And I thought, God's truth,
Yes. Can I also say quickly that in the whole teaching and learning that I did of the Native American culture, I did an awful lot there at Binstead Hall, as well as in America. So the places are linked.
Yeah, definitely.
Very definitely.
Well, there's where my link definitely comes in, isn't it? I think.
And I found out recently that the Berlinus line,
that's a ley line or
the
something.
Berlinus line that runs all the way through the Isle of Wight up to the spine, it's called the spine of England.
Oh yes, that runs due north, doesn't it? Probably runs right through near Kirby Misperton, I would think.
Oh yes, yes. Well, that particular line actually runs through Binstead Hall.
Does it really?
It
Well,
does.
there you go. It couldn't be closer, could it really?
Yes.
I remember messing around with isosceles triangles on maps in them days and working things out, because I'd come down from up in Stockton, and I thought, oh, look at that, this isosceles. I can't remember exactly, but I was into all this stuff then, bit of numerology, bit of this, bit of that. People thought I was cracking up, I think. But I was just finding things,
Yeah, it's a very, very special place.
Yeah.
Very special place.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and of course, Jimi Hendrix, not long after that, a film came out. Actually, no, it was before that. Just a couple of years before, he brought an album out called Rainbow Bridge, which I went to see at the Rex Cinema.
Yeah.
In Ventnor, because we were working there in '74. And at the end of it, he was at this Rainbow Bridge was actually a conference centre in America. I won't go into details, but they were doing this chant, not the chant. What is it when it's like a chant? And it was the actual chant. A mantra. Well, when I went to this place at Binstead, Molly Johnson used to do this mantra, you know, before the meditation session, you know, I thought, yes, and I looked into it more deeply even after that, you know, and it started to blow my mind a bit, basically. It was all too much all at once, I think, you know. But there you go. Sorry, Jan, I'll let you get on.
Moving on to honour and empower the Wotai stone to take up to, is it Kirby Misparton?
Kirby Misparton, yeah.
To
North Yorkshire.
protect and help energise the earth against the fracking, which is the most insidious form of fossil fuel extraction that leaves so much poisons left in the earth. And these have been worked from people on the island to go up there, to be buried, to help protect the earth, to keep the energies. And as well as that, we have a piece of the Pipestone. This is from Chuck Derby Running Elk. And this came very, very strongly today, that this needs to go up there to be buried in a place that will be chosen. You'll find it, you'll know it.
Yeah.
And this Pipestone will link all of the efforts of the protectors there to the Native Americans that have been working so hard in that very special place at Standing Rock.
Yes, and we all know about that. It's,
They have done really, really heroic work, and it is still going on. I see that Standing Rock, the whole of that area there, as a vortex point for all of humanity to bring us to stop this insidious robbing of our Mother Earth, so that we can become sustainable. It is so probable and possible and economically viable for us to become sustainable.
Yeah.
And we have to get there. We have to reach that place.
well, yeah, now is the accepted time, that's for sure, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
definitely.
So we are the Rainbow Warriors, and we are going to be working full on to try and get that to happen.
This is it, and yes, we are doing it.
So we'll be empowering this with the pipe, the prayers from the pipe. And so this is reaching the point now where I'm going to call in the ancestors so that they'll come in, and the prayers that will be put into the pipe will go straight to the Native American ancestors and travel on the wind.
Yeah.
I'll leave it here, sorry.
Move back a bit now. Mini wakan wo wasake wakinyan awakanye chanupa wakanye Hey, what's Awankanye kajuta wakanye. Hey,
So yeah, now we get to the sacred part here, so I'm going to have to cut out.